problem. You use it for whatever you need to use it, Anna.
Thank you, Mayor.
It says I'm in the meeting now. I don't know what. No.
Okay. All good.
Miss Anna,
Yes, ma'am.
you gave me 2 copies of the agenda. It's the thicker one, right?
Yes, I gave you the agenda, then I also gave you the bullet point agenda. I put both.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayor. I've got 1 minute to go, but I don't see a quorum yet.
Not a problem with the, we got 1 minute, we'll wait, and we just need one more council member.
We do have a quorum online currently.
Oh, yeah. I see Mr. Vela. Yes.
They have a quorum now.
5:30, Mayor.
Mayor, hi, Anna.
Hi, Miss Nori.
Hi, how are you? It's
I'm good.
5:30. Welcome, it's 5:30. I want to call this meeting to order, but I'm going to ask Ms. Ana Carrillo to call for quorum.
Yes, Mayor. We have Mayor Armando Ocaña,
Present.
Councilwoman Jessica Ochoa,
Present.
Councilman Ruben Plata, Mayor Pro Tem Nori Garza,
Here.
Councilman Alberto Vela.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum. We have three council. Oh, I see Councilman Plata logging on at this very moment. So we've got all five council members on.
For the record, we have 5 council persons. Am I correct?
That is correct, Mayor.
Okay. I'll call regular meeting agenda item number 1. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I'm going to call regular meeting agenda item number 2. And I'm going to ask Mr. Perez to address that agenda item.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining today's meeting. Item number 2 is the invocation and pledge of allegiance. And we'll start off with the invocation followed by the pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, in spite of the pandemic, we pray for the doctors, nurses, and all the other frontline health workers. Direct their hands and protect them from illness. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America
America.
and to the republic
for
which
which
stands
stands
one nation under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. I'll call for regular meeting agenda item number 3, and I'm going to ask for Ms. Longoria to address that.
Yes, good afternoon. This afternoon, I'm going to report to the public and to everyone present that census takers have been out in the community for the past 2 weeks, visiting residents in low response areas who have not completed the census. Completing the census, as you know, is important, easy, and safe. So don't wait to respond. Complete the census today by mail, phone, or online at 2020census.gov. We only have about 6 weeks as the census deadline is now September 30th. So we urge everybody to respond if they haven't done so. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yes, what is our percentage rate right now of response?
The percentage rate for mission is 51.8.
That means that every other residence has not reported. Am I correct?
Yes, we do have several areas within the city of Mission that have not responded. Primarily it is the south side of Business 83 with a few exceptions in the north side. So those are the low response areas that we need to concentrate on, maybe have some kind of events out there and encourage everybody to respond there.
Have you done a joint venture with the Mission Housing Authority and the nonprofits?
I have been keeping them informed as to flyers that they can use, periodically as we get information from the census representative. So yes, Mayor, we have been working with the agencies as well.
Do you know whether they have active teams so looking out for the non-census individuals?
I do not know that they have active teams, but I do know that they have been encouraging their residents to respond during the any type of meetings that they have or events.
Thank you, Ms. Longoria. I do want to make a direct message to our citizens, especially those that have not responded to the importance of the Census Bureau. Yeah, sometimes we say that it's money, because it is boiled down to money that the federal government will give to the city of Mission. But however, because of this lack of money, that means that we may have lack of programs, and not only programs, but lack of services also. So 51% to me as a mayor is not acceptable. We should be at 99 or 100% at this time, So I'm reaching out to you, the citizen, especially those that have not done their census. It doesn't take but about 2-3 minutes, maybe up to 5 at the most, in case you have a self question to be able to run off. But it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to complete it, and there are different modalities to be able to complete it. Pick one that you're familiar with and use it. So without further ado, I'll open it for the city council to see if any of the city council members want to make a comment.
Mayor, I would like to make a comment. I saw on Instagram this last week how adjoining city of Edinburgh was having an event where they were using the CARES funding, and while people were getting the $100 card to spend at local businesses, they had to fill out the census first. So I think that together we can we have an awesome staff that can maybe think of something like that to get people from those areas in, so that we could have them fill out the census.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ortega. Ms. Garza?
No, Mayor, I really don't have any questions at this point.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. Mr. Plata?
No, I also just want to encourage our citizens to please participate. Don't worry about the citizenship status. I mean, everybody counts. It's important, like the mayor said, this is beneficial to all of the citizens of Mission.
Mr. Vela?
No comment.
Thank you, Mr. Vela. Again, every slice counts in Mission, and we need to encourage yourself, to motivate yourself to be able to complete the census as soon as possible. We're running out of time, and yet it is very easy, and it doesn't take more than 5 minutes. Without further ado, I'd like to call reading a regular meeting agenda item number 4 and ask for Ms. Enriquez.
Mayor, real quick before we move on, I just remembered that I'm under this understanding that the date was moved up by a month, so we have 30 days less than what we originally had. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I'll let Ms. Longoria answer that question.
That
Okay.
is correct. They had moved, because of COVID, they had moved the deadline to October 31st. And they just recently announced, which was last Tuesday, I believe, to September 30th. So yeah, that's why we're urging everybody to respond as soon as possible, as to get the survey in.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. Ms. Enriquez?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. So our Chamber team continues to contribute to the productivity of the Small Business CARES Grant Project. Mr. Silva will be reporting an update in just a moment. At the Chamber and Visitors Bureau, we are working hard to streamline our efforts, our assets as well, and we are making some positive changes to better serve our members, especially during this time. With that in mind, we have identified an internal tourism director who will be representing the City of Mission and all of our tourism components, and they will be participating in tomorrow's Regional Tourism and Travel Advisory Committee. In addition to that, currently many of our hotels are at occupancy, and by occupancy I mean like they're at capacity 90% plus, which is a great thing for our economy. So with that in mind, our Discover Mission campaign efforts, and we do have a project happening right now. The project, the purpose is to cultivate and bring awareness to our visitors. So we're going to get started with the Hampton Inn and Suites. We will be providing some Discover Mission swag and goodies, which our visitors can enjoy while they stay here in Mission with us. So we're really excited about that. And then we'll continue with the other hotels to take care of our guests and really show them what mission is about. Regarding our business development and programming, we do have our Masterminds series, which is held every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Facebook Live. This Friday, we will be featuring Craig Burley with Mission CISD on a topic of communication. On the 19th, we will be hosting a business recovery update with Workforce Solutions. And on the 26th, we will be having a webinar training done by Action Coach. They will be focusing on marketing and mastering the 5 ways to create a predictable cash flows. So any of our business members out there, please pencil those in. We also have a virtual Buenas Tardes tentatively event scheduled for Thursday, September 24th. We will have more information on that. And in addition to streamline and make positive changes to the chamber of our assets and our current team, and to meet the goals and mission and vision of the chamber, we are also right now, we are looking for a part-time bookkeeper. So if any of our, if there's anyone in the community that has experience in bookkeeping, they can definitely reach out to us. Also, I'd like to mention that we have sent out the ballots. They've been mailed to all of our members. If any of our members have not received a ballot, they were mailed out last week, and several of them have already received them. They can contact me directly to give them their ballot. And that is all I have so far, Mayor.
I'm sorry, Mayor, you're muted.
Thank you, Ms. Enriquez. Any questions by the council? I don't see any questions. Therefore, I want to thank you, Ms. Enriquez, and thank your board for working with us, especially since we started in March through this COVID-19, and keeping our businesses up and running as much as we can with accordance of all the executive orders that we've received from the state of Texas, the president, and definitely from the county also. So I just want to thank you and thank your staff and your board of directors.
Thank you, Mayor.
Moving right along, I'm going to call for regular meeting agenda item number 5, and I'm going to ask Mr. Silva to do a presentation.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Hopefully y'all can hear me. So our Mission Forward Cares grant funding program has, we've been working on it diligently pretty much every day for the past 4 weeks. We have 677 individual or businesses that have applied. As of Friday, we had 36 that have come in and signed their applications. 45 have been approved. Today we processed another 36. So we're scheduling appointments. Some came in, approved. Today we processed another 35 for approval. There's 176 that have not qualified. We have 75 that are missing information and 91 that are under review. And 250 of those application folders are empty still. So we're reaching out to those who had originally applied and did not submit anything. And we're trying to coach them through the process on what documentation we need. And really, we've been on the phone all day long, calling individuals, asking them to submit the documents so that way we can process. I'm sorry, Mayor, you're muted.
You're muted, Mayor.
Any questions by any of the city council members?
No, Mayor.
I want to add, we've scheduled appointments for individuals to come in and sign their affidavit that we're notarizing. So the appointments are every 15 minutes here at the SEED. So individuals who have been approved, they would have received an email today. We'll be sending out more emails in the morning, asking them to pick, and we're calling them also, but asking them to pick an appointment time that works for them so that they can come in and notarize their documents. But for the next week, we're booked every 15 minutes with somebody scheduled already.
Mayor, may I ask Daniel a question?
Go ahead, Ms. Ortega.
Hi, Daniel.
Mr.
Thank you so much to your staff and to the chamber for all your hard work in this endeavor. I know that it's very tedious, but since the CARES funding needs to be spent on a certain date, what is your target end date of getting all these things done so that we won't have to return any money?
Right, so my plan is for us to have everything processed a week before the end of the month. So that way it gives finance enough time to submit the request to the county. I know that only gives us about a week and a half left, but you know, I'm gonna be reaching out for some more resources to have more people reviewing. Right now, all of my staff, Fatima with the event center and the chamber have been reviewing, but you know, as you know, 650 applications is, you know, and you know, calls can span from 5 minutes to 15 minutes to explain the process. So the plan is to give a week's buffer to get all of this stuff over to the county.
Okay, Daniel, of the 677 from what you did, 71 have been approved. What is the amount of money that's already ready to be released? Of the 71, what's the total of that?
So total, we have about $185,000 that's been approved. And so a little bit later on in the agenda, we have a couple of other ideas that we've come up with on ways that we can also help the businesses, and either we'll be presenting that.
Okay, yeah, that was my only concern, because if it's 185,000 and we allotted I don't know, Randy, how much?
1.5 million.
1.5 million.
Right, I understand it. And we just did we estimated if all of the applications received in their funding category, we will have quite a bit of money left over. We're looking at maybe at the most expending about 800,000. So like I mentioned, either we'll be presenting a couple of other ideas that we're hoping that on top of this, not in lieu of or not in replacement or, you know, or you get one or the other, but other ways that mission businesses can qualify for more funding.
Mayor, if I may add.
I know you all probably already did this, but of the ones that have already come in to make appointments, they did fill out the census, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other city council person? Ms. Garza?
No, Mayor, I'm just, you know, happy it's getting done. So let's.
Yep. Mr. Plata?
No questions, Mayor.
Mr. Vela?
No questions.
Mr. Perez?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Later on in the agenda, like Daniel mentioned, we met last week because of the concern of the time constraint, and we are coming up with different alternatives to help our businesses that would allocate the money faster and expense it faster for us to help out the businesses in a faster process. So that's something that will be asking for approval later on in the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Mr. Silva, is your report complete or do you need more time?
No, sir, I am done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Silva. Regular meeting agenda item number 6, Mr. Perez and the council. Here is the time that in your report, in your packet, you got departmental reports. Do I have any questions, or do I entertain the motion?
I'd like to move for approval, Mayor.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Departmentals approved. The departmental reports are approved. Regular meeting agenda number 7, citizens participation. I'll call for Ms. Carrillo. Ms. Carrillo, do we have anybody signed up?
No, Mayor, I didn't get anybody to sign up for citizens participation, and I don't see anybody at this time requesting.
I'm online. I'm online.
Yes,
Online.
yes, ma'am,
Okay.
but you're for item 1.1C.
1.1B. When will we get to that one?
We should be getting to that one very shortly.
We'll open up a public hearing, ma'am.
Okay.
when we get to 1.1B, ma'am.
Thank you.
For final request, Charlie, do you have anything in the technology that indicates that there's somebody asking for citizens participation?
I do not see anybody else, Mayor.
Okay. In this, I will close regular meeting agenda item number 7 and call for the public hearing 1.0, and I will call for 1.1A. I'm going to ask for Ms. Luna to lead us in this presentation 1.1A.
Mayor and Council, good afternoon. Item 1.1A is a rezoning of a 0.61 acre tract of land, more or less out of lot 17-12 West Addition to Sherryland. The current zone is R1 to C1. The applicant name is Karina Martinez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance is going to be needed. The subject site is located approximately 700 feet north of U.S. Expressway 83 frontage off of Stewart Road along the west side of Stewart Road. Surrounding zones include mobile and modular district, townhomes, and residential. Existing land uses include W&I Resort Mobile Home Park, townhomes, and single-family residences. The site is currently vacant. The future land use map reflects high-density residential for this area. The predominant land uses in this area are for mobile homes and townhouses. Staff feels that surrounding the area of office use would have a detrimental effect on the area that has long been for mobile homes and townhouses. The applicant purchased this property to be used as an insurance office. Staff did mail notices out to property owners within 200 feet and did not receive any comments in favor or against this request. Based on the future land use map designation, staff and PNC recommend denial of the rezoning. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Planning and zoning also.
Yes.
Denied.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning?
My name is Karina Martinez.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Karina Martinez. I'm the owner of the property. I've been established my agency, Fairness Insurance, in 2013. And I have been part of the Chamber of Insurance, of the Chamber of Commerce of McAllen. I sponsor events, help the community with mission. And however, the city of Mission has been always supportive of my small business, and my purpose is to give back to the community by offering new jobs, making donations, and charity events. I'm kindly requesting your approval in the zoning of my property to residential to C1 to the purpose of creating infrastructure for the community administration. In fact, I've been working with a group of engineers and with the blueprints according to the city codes. I've been presenting those blueprints to the city department of zoning. And in addition of that, I sent letters to the neighbors to inform about my proposal. I did not receive any single rejection from the neighbors. In fact, residents from W&I Resorts and Fiesta Village, they went to my property to express the support for the proposal. They know that the business will improve their quality of life by having a well-maintained property and landscape that will add value to the area in comparison to the old property that was abandoned and had been vandalized twice, creating a danger to the community by developing hazards. Rezoning C1 is the best proposal due to the property's location in Stewart Road, where there is no houses and is nearby the heavy commercial zone. The hours of operation, I will have from 8 to 5 from Monday to Friday. The normal traffic ranges from 2 to 5 customers at the same time, and 75% of the transactions are made by phone or electronic. It's in the best interest of the community to allow me to establish my agency. If allow me, I will make sure that there is always professionalism, ethics, and manners in the agency. This is the the render that I have, the proposal.
Is there anything else, ma'am? Or
No,
you,
that would be all.
or you?
3 minutes, Mayor.
Okay. Were you gonna show a picture, ma'am?
Excuse me?
Are you gonna show something on the screen or
No,
because
just the
your
render.
3 minutes are out, ma'am.
Oh,
You-
yes,
you-
it's just the render, the plan that I'm proposing. Right now, it's an old house that is abandoned, and I'm planning to do it like the render that I just showed. And
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other, this is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against rezoning? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning? Checking with Ms. Carrillo and with Charlie. Nobody from the public is asking for input on this item. Am I correct? Other than the person that already spoke.
That
I
is
don't see
correct,
anybody,
Mayor.
Okay. As a result of that, I'm going to close this public hearing and I'm going to move it over for the council input. I'll open it for the council.
Mayor, I would like to approve the request. I think Stowe Road, this property is real close to the frontage road. They're on the expressway on Stowe. I don't think that, I think it'll be a good commercial area for the city of Mission, so I move to approve.
Okay, I need for you to clarify your motion, Mr. Plata, because planning and zoning and staff recommended denial of the rezoning.
I move to
Approve the rezoning?
The rezoning.
Approve the rezoning, okay. Thank you for the clarification. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion, Mayor.
Hold on. Mr. Vela, did you second?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the record, let the record show that Mr. Vela seconds. Now I'll open it for discussion.
Right. Mayor, I drove by there, by the site, and this property is actually the only property that fronts Stewart Road. And it's a unique piece of property, and because of its uniqueness, I think that C1 is an appropriate zoning for this property. So I'm in agreement with this C1 zone.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, for legality, we need to get 4/5 and 455 to be able to pass the zoning. Am I correct?
That's correct, Mayor. Since the planning and zoning did deny this based on the fact of the future land use, this council would need 4 out of 5 votes to overturn it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martinez. In this, any other questions by any of the council members? At this time, I'm going to call it for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And for the record, please indicate individually, since we have to override or underwrite the votes, if you're voting in favor. Mr. Plata, start with you.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Vela.
Aye.
Ms. Garza.
Aye.
Ms. Ortega.
Nay.
Mayor Ocaña, in favor. So we do have 4 out of 5, and so the zoning occurs.
I really
So we have approved ordinance 4929 as of right now for the record. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Carrillo.
That is correct, Mayor. Ordinance 4929.
Okay. Now I'll open it for a public hearing at 1.1B. Ms. De Luna?
Mayor and council, item 1.1B is a conditional use permit for the selling on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages in the patio area for the Whistling Duck located at 1603 East Griffin Parkway, being lots 10 and 13 out of Block 3 Sherry Garden subdivision. It is currently zone C3 and the applicant is Whistling Duck, Inc. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance would be needed. The 5,274 square feet establishment is located near the northwest corner of Garden View Drive and Griffin Parkway. The applicant has been in operation at this location for 2 years now and would like to expand their current CUP to include an outdoor patio, which would offer their customers an alternative to enjoy a meal and a beverage in an open air environment. The applicant has received approval from the landlord and TABC to use concrete pad located outside an outdoor patio. This area would be fenced in and gated. The hours of operation would be Sunday from 10 to 6, Monday would be closed, Tuesday and Wednesdays from 4 to 11, Thursdays through Saturday from 4 to 12. He's proposing to have 10 employees during different shifts. The parking, the subject site has a total of 100 total sitting spaces, which require 57 parking spaces, and they have 116. Staff has received several calls in opposition to this request. The concerns voiced in regards to this are regarding noise, the sharing of the patio with the adjacent business, and being detrimental to the business, and it would give the wrong impression to the customers. I did include an email that was submitted from the adjacent property owner where they share the patio, and he is in opposition to this request. Staff, P&Z, and city manager recommend denial of the expansion. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit?
I am against it.
Ma'am, please give me your name and your address for the record, ma'am.
Sharon Ellison, 1604 East 23rd and a half Street, Mission, Texas. I'm directly behind it.
You have 3 minutes to state either in favor or against, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. I'm against this because not at this time, the pandemic all across the U.S., no beer must be masquerading, no restaurant masquerading as, no bar masquerading as a restaurant should be serving outside at all, or loud music outside or inside. Getting deliveries slowly, looking like they might reopen, trying to slip this in. The Planning Commission denied it with other people in the area disapproving it also. The City Council shouldn't override the Planning Commission decision like they just did on the last one. And also, you have one choice, bars or schools. Which do you want to have open? As soon as you open bars, you're not going to be able to open schools. And I've talked to you, Mayor, about this. I called you personally. Businesses cannot have all the rights in this city of Mission, even though that's the way it looks like it in your way of doing things. Bars and gatherings are not allowed. As soon as you open one of those things, you're going to have problems, and that's going to spread the COVID. This is not an appropriate time for this guy to find a way so he can make some more money. And that's not an appropriate space. It's an all-enclosed dust bowl in the corner, and it's not appropriate. The Planning Commission denied it, and you've got opposition besides me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit, please identify yourself, name and address for the record. Do we have anybody else, Ms. Carrillo?
No, Mayor, I don't see anybody else.
Charlie?
I don't see anybody. No,
Okay.
I do not see anybody, Mayor.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor of this conditional use permit? I don't see anybody addressing the public hearing. Therefore, I'm going to close this public hearing and I'm going to open it for any of the council members for direct input.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and go with the recommendation of our staff and our planning and zoning. Deny.
I accept your motion, and do I hear a second?
I'll do a second to deny.
Mr. Vela, you second Ms. Ochoa's motion, and this I open it for discussion for the other council members if you have anything to add or subtract.
And of course, Mayor, only 3 votes are needed to sustain the denial.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor of the denial, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I didn't hear any nays. Therefore, for the record, let it show that 5-0 is to take up the planning and zoning and staff recommendation and deny the conditional use permit. So, moving right along, 1.1C, Ms. De Luna.
Mayor and Council, item 1.1C is a conditional use permit for a drive-through service window, El Tropical, located at 708 North Inspiration Road, Suite 1. This is on Lot 1, Rivalceda subdivision. It's currently zone C3, and the applicant is Brenda Fernandez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance would be needed. The subject site is located 400 feet south of East Expressway 83 Frontage Road along the east side of Inspiration Road. The drive-through service window is along the west end of the commercial plaza. Access to the site is from a 24-foot driveway from Inspiration Road. A CUP for this location was last approved by P&Z on August 14, 2019 for a period of 1 year. Since the use is not transferable to others, the applicant would like to apply for her own permit. The hours of operation is Monday through Sunday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Staff is 1 to 2 employees. Parking is held in common. The drive-through service window allows for 5 vehicles to be easily staffed. Staff has not received any opposition in regards to this request. Staff recommends approval subject to a 1-year reevaluation to assess the new operation. They must comply with fire, health, building, and sign code requirements, and they must acquire a business license. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against conditional use permit? Is there any indication somebody's going to respond, Ms. Carrillo or Charlie?
No, sir, there isn't, Mayor.
I don't see anybody, Mayor.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit? Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit? This is a public hearing. At this time, I'm closing the public hearing and I'm opening it for the city council to review the possibility of ordinance 4930.
I move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. And this is open for final discussion by any of the other council members. I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ordinance 4930 is approved 5-0. I'm calling for 1.1D, Ms. De Luna.
Mayor and Council, item 1.1D is a conditional use permit for a drive-through service window for Kayla Coffee Company located at 2138 East Griffin Parkway, being Lot 20, Block 2, Springfield Phase 1 subdivision. It's currently zone C3, and the applicant is Carlos Ventura. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance would be needed. The subject site is located on the southwest corner of Helen Avenue and East Griffin Parkway, along the south side of Griffin Parkway. The applicant currently has a small coffee shop within his medical supply business and would like to have a drive-through service window for his coffee shop. The site has an access point off of Helen Avenue. Drive-through customers would use Helen Avenue access in order to utilize the drive-through service window and exit either to the parking lot or to Helen Avenue. The location of the window allows for enough stacking of up to 3 vehicles. Days and hours of operation would be Monday through Sunday from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. They plan to have 2 employees for staff. Parking is noted that is held in common. Staff recommends approval subject to a 1-year reevaluation to assess the new operation, must comply with fire, health, building, and sign code requirements, and they acquire a business license. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit? Help me out, Ms. Carrillo and Charlie.
Mayor, I don't see anybody wishing to speak.
I don't see anybody either, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit? This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit? I don't see anybody addressing us. Therefore, I'm going to close this public hearing and turn it over to the council for their immediate feedback.
Move for approval, Mayor, as presented.
We have a
Second.
motion to and a second to approve ordinance 4931 as presented, and this I open it for discussion. I don't hear any discussion, therefore I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear any nays, therefore I'm going to approve ordinance 4931 with a 5-0 vote. And I'm going to call for 1.1E, and I'm going to call Mr. Perez on this item.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. 1.1E is the public hearing for the 2021 preliminary budget. The city's preliminary budget for fiscal year 2021 was presented on July 27th, 2020, and has been made available to the public for review at the city secretary's office and our city website as required. This is the opportunity for citizens to speak on the preliminary budget.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. This is a public hearing. Anybody that would like to give us direct input on the fiscal year 2020-2021 preliminary budget, this is your chance. Please identify yourself, name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Ms. Carrillo, do we have anybody and Mr. Charlie?
Mayor, I do not see anyone.
No, Mayor, I don't see anybody notifying that they have anything to say.
Okay, this is a public hearing on fiscal year 2020-2021 preliminary budget. And it is open for you to provide the direct input. This is a public hearing for fiscal year 2020 to 2021 preliminary budget. This is your opportunity to provide direct feedback. Is there anybody out there, Ms. Carrillo or Charlie?
No, sir. Nobody has made any indication.
No, Mayor, I don't see anybody as well.
Thank you. I will close this public hearing and I'll ask Mr. Martinez, there is no action need to be taken on this agenda item. Am I correct?
That is correct, Mayor. There's no action. There is another public hearing for the budget scheduled though.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. I'm calling for 2.0 consent agenda. All consent agenda items are considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests an item to be removed and considered separately. The city council may take various actions, including but not limited to rescheduling an item in its entirety for a future date or time. The city council may elect to go into executive session on any item, whether or not such item is posted as an executive session item at any time during the meeting when authorized by the provision of the Open Meetings Act. And this, I open it for the council.
I move for approval as presented, Mayor.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 consent agenda item. And this, I open it for final discussion in case anybody wants to pull one out. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The consent agenda item 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 is approved. And I'm moving over to approvals and authorization 3.0 on the agenda, and I'm calling for 3.1 and asking Fire Chief Sanchez to address us, or his designee.
Mayor and Council, item 3.1, authorization to purchase operational and rescue equipment from Metro Fire Apparatus Specialists, Inc. via by board contract 603-20. The operational and rescue equipment will be part of outfitting the new Pierce apparatuses for emergency operations. The purchase is in the amount of $58,745 via by board contract 603-20. Staff and city manager recommend approval. This item is before you.
We have a motion to approve. And we have a second? And this, I open it for discussion from any of the council members. I don't hear any discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.1 is approved, and moving to 3.2. Chief, you have it also.
Item 3.2, authorization to purchase rugged mobile printers from CDWG from the CARES Act budget. Staff is seeking authorization to purchase Brother Rugged Jet mobile printers from CDWG. The mobile printers are for the planning, health, and fire prevention inspectors and code enforcement officers for the purpose of business occupancies, as well as specific departmental inspections and any COVID-19 implemented inspections requirements. 60 mobile printers and accessories will be purchased in an amount of $11,445.60. Staff and city manager recommend approval. This matter before you.
Move for approval, Mayor.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this, I open it for discussion for any other council members.
I just want to ask Randy, are all these items on the budget that we approved for the CARES Act budget, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Thank you.
Any other question by any of the council members? If not, I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear anybody in opposed, therefore 3.2 is approved. Chief Sanchez, and I'm calling for 3.3, and you have it also, Mr. Chief Sanchez.
Yes, Mayor. Item 3.3, authorization to purchase 3-part solution for disinfecting solutions, 5-part electrical mix stations from Caltech from the City CARES Act budget. Staff is seeking authorization to purchase 3 disinfecting solutions and 5 3-part electric mix stations from Caltech. Disinfecting solutions will be utilized to disinfect fire stations, fire apparatus, support vehicles, and departmental equipment. The purchase cost is in the amount of $11,846.78. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move to approve.
We have a motion to approve 3.3. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this, I open it for discussion by any of the other council members. I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear any nays, therefore 3.3 is approved 5-0. And I'm calling for 3.4, and Chief Sanchez, you have that too.
Item 3.4, authorization to purchase Everbridge notification software from Petro System Solution, Inc. from the city's CARES Act budget. Staff is seeking authorization to purchase Everbridge notification software from Petro Solutions, Inc. The Everbridge notification system software will be utilized to notify residents of any important information that the city wants to disseminate. The purchase cost in the amount of $24,058.19. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve and a second. And this I open it for discussion by any of the council members. I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.4 is approved 5-0 because I did not hear anybody, any nays. So I'm calling for 3.5 and Chief Sanchez, you have.
Item 3.5, authorization to purchase Lucas chest compression systems from Stryker from the city's CARES Act budget. Staff is seeking authorization to purchase Lucas chest compression systems from Stryker. The chest compression systems will give the first responder the ability to maintain distance from suspected or confirmed COVID-19 patients during CPR. Also reduces the number of caregivers needed to administer chest compressions during a code compared to rotation of caregivers providing manual CPR, and improves caregivers' safety when providing CPR. The purchase cost is in the amount of $92,233. Stryker is the sole source vendor of this product. Staff and city manager recommend your approval. This matter is now before you.
I move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mayor, I have a question.
Let me recognize your second, and then I will open the question. Your second has been recognized, and go ahead with your question, Mr. Ortega.
Chief, I just want to make sure, just for clarification to the public that's listening, it's for how many of these equipments? Like,
These are 6 units.
okay,
They'll be on our frontline apparatus plus our squad unit.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Any other question by any of the council members? If no other question, I will call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I did not hear an A. Therefore, 3.5 is approved, 5-0. Chief, you got your agenda items approved.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
You're welcome. 3.6, Elizalde.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Item 3.6, staff is seeking authorization to purchase eCivis grant management software from Caresoft Technology Corp. From the city's CARES Act budget. The total for the grant management software is $11,850 and will be used to research all grant opportunities, including COVID-19 related grants. Additionally, the software will allow management of awarded grants as the city has seen an increase in COVID-19 related grants awarded. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second,
We have a second, and it is open up for discussion.
Mr. Lizarde.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, is this a common technology to be used with other municipalities to search out grants?
Yes, so it's with eCivis. So currently they do have a free base right now for COVID related. So this purchasing this software is going to allow it to expand it. So it's open to other city municipalities as well. And to my knowledge, other cities are using this as well.
Great, I look forward to everything that you find for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion by any of the council members? Any questions? I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.6 is approved. And I'm calling for 3.7 and Mr. Perez.
Yes. Item 3.7 is a discussion of possible action on modifying COVID-19 city of Mission guidelines. In this particular item, sir, I do want to ask for approval. I do have 2 requests that I want to present in this particular item. One of them is it's an administrative a request that would be handled through a memo, not necessarily a policy change. And so what I'm requesting is on the current vacation policy for our employees. For this year, due to COVID, we have experienced employees being out, but to whether it's exposure or potential exposure and so forth, And so it's limited our employees to take vacation time. So currently our policy reads where an employee with 1 to 5 years accrues 2 weeks of vacation, and employees from 6 years plus will accrue 3 weeks of vacation. And so what I'm requesting for this year only is authorizing the employees to allow them to take at least the 5 days, but to be able to roll over. In this particular, if they earn 2 weeks, they continue to roll over in 5 days, which is 1 week. If they earn 3 weeks, to be able to roll over 2 weeks in this particular year only. Again, the current policy says we can roll over 1 week, which is 5 days. Requesting for us to be able to authorize the employees to roll over 2 weeks. But however, we are requiring for them to take at least 5 days. If they're earning three weeks, and if they're earning 2 weeks, at least 5 days. The other requester, and I'll come back for questions and clarifications. The other request is also for us to submit, we had discussed it before, but for us to submit a request to the county for an extension of the CARES Act funds. Basically is for us to send a letter on behalf of the city of Mission to the county for the extension up until November 30th, so we can be able to expend it till then, allowing them 30 days to review our last submittal. I think it's a fair request, and other cities are doing the same, and I'm asking for that request as well.
Okay, those are the 2 items. Any other items by any of the council members?
No, Mayor, I'd just like to make a comment. I was kind of concerned about what Randy was saying about the vacation time. I think it's a great idea, and I think that we should do what we can to alleviate the strains that our directors have or any employees when they're not able to take vacation time at this time because of COVID.
Yes. His memo is going to require for the employee to take 5 days of vacation. I would like to amend that part and say that if their immediate supervisor feels that we have essential services that need to be covered, and that the employee doesn't take the 5 days, that those days not to be included as vacation. The intent is that I don't want any employee to lose vacation time as a result of COVID-19. You know, so I would like to amend Randy's the five required vacations, that if a supervisor advises the employee because of essential services to be covered for the city, that should be exempt from them doing a mandatory 5-day vacation. But that'll be discussed in-house and with the immediate supervisor and the employee, but included in the amendment as far as that is concerned. And Randy, I have a strategy that I want to do, but I don't want to do it until we do a little impact research on it. And then the impact research is that if we were to do the 14-day curfew from 10 p.m. at night to 5 a.m. in the morning, and close all businesses, all driving stores, and all businesses at 10 p.m., what would it do to the essential services of the city? And I won't ask you to report until the next city council meeting under this agenda item, as far as that is concerned. So, because it's not getting any better out there, and you know, and we're averaging 2, 3, 4 deaths in Mission daily, you know, and so it's just something so the public can look at, think about it, provide feedback, and the council people look at it, provide feedback to see if that kind of strategy is necessary to be able to bring and curve and flatten the curve for at least for the city of Mission, you know, as far as that is concerned. But again, this is not going to be an action item on this strategy, but I do want to assign it to the city manager and to the city staff and to anybody that would like to provide feedback, either for or against it, just to let us know, and we'll decide that in the next city council meeting under this agenda item whether we're going to do it or not, as far as that is concerned. So, any other additional strategies, or can I hear a motion to approve Mr. Pettis's two agenda item, two strategies to modify under this agenda item?
Move for approval, Mayor.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Perez, those two items have been approved, especially with the modification on the mandatory 5 days. If a supervisor, immediate supervisor advises a staff member that they cannot take the 5 mandatory days, that they will not be charged vacation as a result of they will not lose the 5 days as far as that is concerned. I know the intent is to rest our staff. So I just want to make sure that we don't have an employee out there that's really under essential services, and we're shorthanded, or because of COVID-19 staff members and so forth, that they lose any vacation time as a result of that. Because as far as that, any questions, Mr. Pettis?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving right along, I'm going to call for 3.8 and ask for Ms. Carrillo.
Yes, Mayor, Council, good afternoon. This is a request by the County of Hidalgo Elections Department to use city facilities for the November general election for early voting and for Election Day. This request is for the use of the Banworth gym classrooms and the Parks and Recreation gym. Early voting has been increased an additional week by Governor Abbott due to the pandemic. So early voting would begin on October 13th and end on October 30th, with election day being November 3rd. City Hall will not be a facility that will be used. It will only be the Banworth gym classroom and Parks and Recreation. And staff and city manager recommend approval of this item.
Move for approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. In this, I open it for any final discussion. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I did not hear an A. Therefore, 3.8 is approved 5-0, Ms. Carrillo.
Thank you, Mayor.
And then I'm calling for 3.9 and Mr. Pettis.
Yes, Mayor and Council, authorization to amend consulting services agreement with HR Burt Pena to provide federal representation in extending the City of Mission presidential permit. Mr. Pena has been providing federal representation in the pursuit of extending the presidential permit for an additional 10 years. Services will be provided on an as-needed basis at the amended rate of $250 per hour. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
For approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, Mr. Vela. Thank you. And this, I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.9 is approved. Mr. Flores, I'm sorry, I apologize. I called you Mr. Perez. I stand corrected, Mr. Flores.
That's all right, sir. Thank you.
And three, so I'm calling for 3.10. Mr. Chief Dominguez.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Item 3.10 is authorization to enter into an interlocal agreement between the City of Mission and the City of Peñitas to provide temporary housing for prisoners. The Mission Police Department agrees to make use of their holding cells for prisoners of the Peñitas Police Department, subject to the availability of space based on facilities capacity. The interlocal is for the temporary housing and detention of prisoners awaiting arraignment. The temporary housing of prisoner will be at a cost of $54 per prisoner per day. The cost includes detention, transportation, and meal costs. The term of the agreement is for 1 year, commencing on October 1st, 2020, and ending on September 30th of 2021. Staff and city manager recommend approval. This is the contract that we have for housing a prisoner, sir. This will be our second year of the contract.
Mayor, I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have
Mayor.
a second. And I'll open it for discussion. Ms. Ortega, you've got the floor.
Hi, Chief. How are you?
Doing great.
Great. My question is, because this is going to be our second year and the next agenda item is for another municipality that's also doing the same request. How have we been as far as staff with jailers there? Is there maybe a possible need to add staff? Because sometimes maybe we have prisoners from other municipalities and our own.
Well, we do have an increase, obviously, on prisoners, but so far as the capacity, I think we're within our limits. I think we're doing okay. Kind of, I was looking at the numbers of last year. Last year, like the city of Peñitas, we collected $3,888. This year, just to the month of May, we've already collected $5,616. So that's an increase of prisoners coming into our facility. But so far, I think we're okay on the number of jailers that we have. Unfortunately, one of the things we've been dealing with COVID-19 is times when our jailers do come in contact with somebody that's COVID. Obviously, we're having to send them home until they get tested. And that's kind of the issue we've been having, whether it's jail or in our communication center or on patrol. But so far, man, we're okay with the staffing levels that we have.
Okay, well, I hope you just work with what we have according to, that's a very valid point with the COVID. I just want to make sure that we meet with all our resources, and if it's staff that we need to work on getting you the help that you need.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from any other council members? I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and I did not hear a nay. Therefore, 5-0, 3.10 is approved. Chief Dominguez, calling for 3.11. Chief, you got the floor.
311 is authorization to enter into an interlocal agreement between the city of Mission and the city of Palmhurst to provide temporary housing for prisoners. Again, the Mission Police Department agrees to make use of our holding facilities for prisoners of the Palmhurst Police Department subject to availability, space based on facility capacity. The interlocal is for the temporary housing and detention of prisoners waiting arraignment. The temporary housing of prisoners will be at a cost again of $54 per day per prisoner. The cost includes a detention, transportation, and meal costs. The agreement is for 1 year commencing October 1st, 2020 and ending September 30th, 2021. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Chief, can you give us the same amount, the way you broke down the city of Peñitas, how many?
Yes, on the city of Palmhurst, last year we collected 7,722. This year, from October through May, we've collected 2,842.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Yes.
Open it for a motion.
Move for approval.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
We have a second, then this I open it for discussion. No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.11 is approved 5-0 because I did not hear a nay. Chief, you have 3.12 and your resolution number would be 1681, Chief.
1681. Yes, sir. Item 3.12 is approval of a resolution supporting the acceptance of the 2019 Operation Stone Garden Program grant from the Office of the Governor. This resolution is required by the Office of the Governor for the FY 2019 Operation Stone Garden grant. The total amount of the grant award is $330,000. The grant will provide $233,359.88 in overtime funds and $96,640.12 of the grant funds we allocated to update our 3 existing Skywatch towers with new video cameras and Wi-Fi capabilities. The grant will be in effect from September 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2021. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 3.12 resolution number 1681, and this I open up for discussion. I will call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.12 is approved 5-0. I did not hear a nay. Chief Dominguez, you have the floor for 3.13, Chief.
Item 3.13 is authorization to enter into a contract between the City of Mission and SafeTrack LLC, DBA Safe Global Services, to provide professional services. SafeTrack LLC, DBA Safe Global Service will be retained for the specific purpose of providing security measures along the Mission, Texas and Mexico border. SafeTrack will provide a number of security intelligence services to the City of Mission as it relates to our proximity to the U.S.-Mexican border and the need to be aware of any potential threats to our international bridge, our border, and our community. The total amount of the yearly contract is $15,600. Staff and city manager recommend approval of this item.
I move to approve.
We have a motion to approve and a second, and this I open up for final discussion. I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And tell Mr. Cisneros, thank you for his service.
Yes, sir, I sure will.
And I'm calling for 3.14, Chief Dominguez.
Item 3.14 is authorization to accept the FY 2021 STEP comprehensive grant from the Texas Department of Transportation. The grant funds will be utilized for enforcement of speed, seat belt, and DWI. The total amount for the grant is $57,530.93. The City of Mission will be responsible for a cash match of $11,541.33. The grant will be in effect from October 1st, 2020 through September 30th of 2021. The staff and city manager recommend approval for this grant.
We have a motion to approve. The second, Chief, I have a question. You have the $11,541.33 in your budget, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
To match it?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
I'll open up for further discussion by any other council members. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear any nay. The 3.14 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for 3.15. And Chief, you have it.
Yes, Mayor, City Council. Item 3.15 is authorization to purchase video conferencing equipment, laptops, desktops, accessories, and Microsoft Office licenses under the CARES Act budget. The City of Mission Police Department obtained quotes for the purchase of the aforementioned items for 3 individual packages. Package number 1 is for the purchase of video conferencing equipment. A total of 3 individual quotes were obtained, and the lowest responsible bidder was SHI Government Solutions. SHI Government Solutions will guarantee delivery of the equipment before August 30th deadline. SHI Government Solution is a registered WISAM under the System for Award Management. Package number 2 is for the purchase of Apple MacBooks and related accessories. A total of 3 individual quotes were obtained, and the lowest responsible bidder was CDWG. However, CDWG cannot guarantee delivery before the established deadline. I recommend that we purchase from the second responsible bidder, SHI Government Solutions. SHI Government Solutions will guarantee delivery of the equipment before the established deadline of August 30th of 2020. SHI Government Solutions is registered again through the SAM system. The total price difference between the CDG quote and the SHI quote is $785.75. Package number 3 is for the purchase of Microsoft licenses, laptops, desktops, and accessories. A total of 3 individual quotes were obtained, and the lowest responsible bidder was SHI Government Solutions. SHI Government Solutions will guarantee delivery before the established deadline on this package of August 30th. SHI Government Solutions is again registered under the SAM system. The total package, the total for package number 1 is $27,642.74. Package number 2 is $51,723.38, and package number 3 is $65,016.08 for a total of $144,382.20. Staff and city manager recommend approval of this purchase.
I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve, and this I open it for discussion. No discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I did not hear a nay, therefore 3.15 will be approved 5-0. And I'm calling for 3.16, Mr. Belmontes.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor. Item 3.16, seeking authorization for emergency payment for repairs on the 1996 utility reefer trailer to support local hospital and funeral homes during this pandemic. Authorization is for the emergency payment for the repairs in the amount of $14,010.98 for the repairs that were done by Diesel Fleet Care. Staff recommendation is approval.
For approval, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 3.16. And this I open it for discussion by any other council members. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear a nay in the same sign. Therefore, 3.16 is approved by 5-0, and 3.17 is called for. Mr. Belmontes, you have the floor.
Item 3.17, authorization for emergency payment for parts order for repairs, in-house service repairs done at St. Martin's Emergency Group by certified EVT technicians. Authorization for the emergency payment for the repairs on the fire department apparatuses by the EVT technicians at St. Martin in the amount of $18,899.89. Staff recommendation is approval for payment.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
To approve.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Vela, thank you. I open it for further discussion. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I didn't hear a same sign. Therefore, 3.17 will be approved 5-0 for Ms. And I'm calling for 3.18, Ms. Vela.
Good afternoon. Item 3.18 is the authorization to purchase payroll technology hardware software based on the CARES Act budget. Staff is seeking authorization to purchase Time Clock Plus technology hardware and software via DIR contract. Technology will be used by Finance Payroll Department for telework tracking through remote clocking capabilities using cloud-based functionality. Software will also aid in compliance reporting, reduce manual entry processes, and increase efficiency through real-time validation. Total cost will be $74,120.60. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 3.18, and I'll open it for final discussion. No discussion, therefore I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. 3.18 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for 3.19.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and everyone. Rick Vanessa with the Boys and Girls Club of Mission. Item 3.19, authorization to purchase tables, chairs, and chair dollies for a Boys and Girls Club gymnasium through the CARES Act budget.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 3.19, open it for discussion. I will call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.19 is approved 5-0, and calling for 3.20. Mr. Martin.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Item number 320, authorization to purchase cleaning, sanitation, and safety materials due to COVID-19 for all city facilities through the Approval CARES Act budget. Purchase of supplies for Gulf Coast paper via buy board contract. Total cost of purchase is $33,416 with 20 cents. Staff and city managers recommend approval.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. We have a motion and a second to approve 3.20. In this, I open it for discussion. I am going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.20 is approved 5-0, Mr. Maris. And I'm calling for 3.21, Ms. Casares.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I come before you seeking authorization to purchase a desktop computer, MacBook, and camera tripod with accessories for our Media Relations Department via state-approved buy board contract number 563-18 in the amount of $27,020 with 51 cents. The purchase of the equipment for item 3.21 would come from the Public Education Government Fund, which are the television franchise fees that we receive from Spectrum. Staff and city manager have recommended approval.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 3.21. And this, I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.21 approved 5-0. And I'm calling for 3.22. Ms. Munguia.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Item 3.22 is the authorization to purchase HR deployment and form software from Municipal Code Corporation from the city's CARES Act budget. This will allow personnel files to be maintained electronically versus maintaining paper files. This software will also include online application and a forms management software. Unicode is the sole source vendor utilizing a proprietary software. The cost of this software is $47,000, and staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and this I open it for discussion. I'm gonna call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. 3.22 is approved. I did not hear any nays. So I'll be calling for 3.23 and the approval of resolution 1682. Mr. Cardosa.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Item 3.23 is the approval of resolution 1682, the City Council of the City of Mission adopting the County of Hidalgo Order 20-012 related to COVID-19. Effective at 12:01 a.m. on August 6, 2020, all individuals currently living within Hidalgo County, Texas, are ordered to shelter at home in their residence and to follow the following orders as outlined in the County Order 20-12, shelter at home, curfew travel, facial coverings, and outdoor gatherings. County Order 20-12 is hereby adopted in its entirety, specifically as to the matters that pertain to the city, and shall remain in effect in full force and effective until 11:59 p.m. August 19, 2020. Staff and city manager are recommending approval.
I move to approve.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 3.23 or resolution 1682. And this I open it for discussion by any other council member. I'm gonna call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I did not hear a nay, therefore 3.23 is approved 5-0. And resolution 1682 is approved, Mr. Cardosa. And I'm calling for 3.24, Mr. Belmares.
Hi, Mayor. Item 3.24, authorization to purchase maintenance and support for the 3 Barracuda firewalls currently set up at the City Hall, Spear Memorial Library, and the Central Fire Station. These firewalls will work side by side with the recently purchased network equipment in the amount of $15,442.95. I do want to make a correction, Mayor, and it's not Best Buy, it's CDW-G. That's the vendor that we are proposing.
CDW-G.
G. Yes.
Okay.
Staff and city manager recommend approval to the lowest competitor bidder.
Before I move over, Mr. Martinez, is that okay?
Sir, Gus, you're on mute, but this was on the nature of the request and not necessarily on the agenda item, sir.
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify with legal that it was okay to make the change. So go ahead and I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and this I open it for discussion by any of the council members. I am calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 3.24, Mr. Belmontes is approved, 5-0, and 3.25 is on the table, and you have the floor, Mr. Belmontes.
Yes, Mayor. Authorization to purchase video conferencing equipment for the following departments: 2 for City Hall, 1 for the CDBG department, and 1 for municipal court, and 3 for public works. The staff is seeking authorization to purchase the attached list of equipment, commodities, and components due to the exemption due to the emergency declaration from Best Buy in the amount of $19,749.95. Attached is a list of items and equipment that will be purchased. The purchase will provide the equipment to multiple buildings and will help with the social distancing due to COVID-19 in the amount of $19,749.95. Staff and city manager recommend approval, Mayor.
Move for approval.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second? Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. In this, I open it for discussion, and I have a couple of questions, Mr. Belmontes. 3.24 is we're purchasing it from Best Buy or from CWG?
No, 3.24, we're buying it from CDW-G, and 3.25, we are buying it from Best Buy.
Okay, just for clarification on it, okay? Thank you for that clarification. Also, are the video conferencing equipment, are they gonna have the capacity to network?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that.
Yes, Mayor.
In this, I open up for discussion by any of the council members.
Mayor, I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Bernadas.
Good evening, ma'am.
My question would be on the following departments that you said: 2 to City Hall, 1 to CDBG, 1 municipal court, and 3 public works. The reason why municipal public works is getting 3?
I'll turn it over to the RIT director who made the assessment and made that determination in coordinating with the departments, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Choi. Yes, what they're trying to do is they're trying to install it in 3 different buildings so that when they have meetings, they don't have to come into one building to have their meeting.
Yes. Any questions, Ms. Ortega?
Okay, so then what about Parks and Rec and the Boys and Girls Club?
The director, Robert Salinas, asked for the 3 different packages because I guess they meet and there's personnel in the different buildings, and I guess he decided that's where he needed them. I'm not exactly sure about Parks. Parks didn't request one. Mostly Parks meets in the Parks and Rec building, and Facilities meets in Canal Street, so they're not really meeting together, I guess.
Okay, maybe Randy, is this correct, Randy?
Yeah, can I?
I reckon Ms. Ortega has the floor. Ms. Ortega, finish your questions.
Randy, can you clear up my question as far as why only these departments and not maybe others that may need the same equipment?
Yeah, so basically it is at the discretion of the director, depending on the departmental operations, the way it's set up. Currently, we do have 3 different facilities in Public Works that would not, to not have them all in one location. This is all for remote working, and it's all CARES Act funding as well. However, the other departments, if they have a different location that's designated to be separated, they're choosing to continue as is. However, we will evaluate every department to make sure that they have the capabilities of doing that. Some other departments are choosing the laptop route to use that route, and other departments are choosing this particular route.
Okay, thank you.
And the other person that wanted to take the floor, identify yourself, please.
I guess it was me, Mayor. I just wanted to reiterate what Randy just mentioned. The different options that each department is taking on to entertain the possibility of remotely working.
Yeah, I know. For IT, yes, start thinking about long-term vision about putting a video conferencing system in every department, especially when we do general alarms, hurricanes, COVID-19. You know, that we will be able to expand and extend the emergency operations center instead of having everybody in one place. We can do video conference across the board for essential emergencies that we have for the city, and you know, that would be something to study for future.
Yes, Mayor. We'll go ahead and take that into consideration in our ongoing assessment and infrastructure upgrade.
Thank you, Mr. Belmontes. Any other question by any of the council persons? No questions. I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and it would be 5-0 for 3.25. And I'm calling for 3.26. Mr. Flores, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, item 3.26, discussion and possible action on entering into a one-year agreement for the City of Mission to operate the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery with the General Land Office and the Veterans Land Board. And if necessary, delegating the authority to the city manager to approve any final contract terms with the General Land Office and the Veterans Land Board. The City of Mission is prepared to operate the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery in cooperation with the GLO and the Veterans Land Board. This agreement will be for 1 year with annual renewals based on agreements between all parties. Funding for the operation will come from the Veterans Land Board and the GLO with approved acceptance of the annual budget from the city by the Veterans Land Board and the GLO. The City of Mission will not allow the cemetery to fall below Veteran Administration and National Cemetery Administration standards of operation and appearance. The Rio Grande Valley State Veteran Cemetery will operate as a city department under the direction of the city manager's office. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve in a second, and this I open it for discussion from any of the council members. I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I didn't hear any opposition, therefore I'm going to approve 3.26 as 5-0. And I'm going to call for 3.27 and Ms. De Luna.
Yes, item 3.27 is the consideration and adoption of an ordinance approving and ratifying interlocal agreement with the City of McAllen concerning extraterritorial jurisdiction. Ordinance number 1739, executed May 10, 93, reflects the interlocal ETJ agreement between the City of Mission and the City of McAllen. After evaluating the ETJ boundaries further, the City of McAllen proposed that the City of Mission undertake 468 acres currently under their ETJ. Staff and city manager recommended approval.
Mayor,
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Can you just,
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 4932. I'll open it for discussion by any of the council members. Go ahead.
yes, can, I see the map on the screen, but can that be described a little further?
Yeah, this area is located on 6 1/4 mile north to 7 mile line between Los Ébanos and Conway.
Between Los Ébanos and Conway?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're describing, okay, what color is
The aqua color is the one that the proposed mission ETJ.
Okay. So that was what used to be in the McAllen ETJ, and
Yes,
they're,
and the red is what we used to have and now they're gonna undertake.
so we're swapping the aqua for the red.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mayor, are you good with that?
Ma'am, go ahead.
My question is, are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with that, as far as that is concerned, because that's going to open the lane that we need for the CCN that we're working on moving forward, north. We're working jointly with the city of McAllen.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions? I will call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear anybody opposing 3.27, so ordinance 4932 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for 3.28. And Mr. Silva,
Hello, Mayor, City Council. Item 3.28 is approval of Missions Cares COVID program guidelines. The Missions Cares COVID program is designed to help small businesses that were affected by COVID-19. The Mission Cares COVID program consists of 3 funding levels: $1,000 for sole proprietors and home-based businesses, $3,500 for businesses in a commercial location with at least one W-2 employee. I apologize, one W-2 employee, and $7,000 for businesses in a commercial location with at least one W-2 employee and generates over $200,000 in gross revenue. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
do I hear a motion?
I'll move.
Do we have a motion? Do we hear a second?
Second.
Second, we have a motion and second. I'll open it for discussion by any of the council member. I just have one question, Mr. Silva.
Yes, sir.
A sole proprietor on the first section.
Yes, sir.
If I'm a sole proprietor and like I have a rent from an individual and my business is in downtown, the maximum I can get is $1,000. Am I correct?
That's correct. Unless you can prove that you have a 941 that you file with the state for employee tax, the maximum you can get is $1,000.
Aren't the majority of our downtown businesses sole proprietors?
From the ones that I've seen, it's been a mixture. There's been those who do pay employees W-2, and then there also has been those that pay the employees cash or 1099s. So it's been a mixture.
So if I'm a sole proprietor and I have one employee and I give him a W-2, then I qualify for the 3,500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the point I wanted to make. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Silva. Any other questions by any other council members? No questions. In this, I'm going to call it for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Come here, Bentley.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I do not hear any opposed, so 3.28 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for 3.29. Ms. Lerma.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Item 3.29 is authorization and consideration to administer the business recovery programs for economic support of local businesses affected by COVID-19. We've come up with 3 different ideas to help support the local businesses. And the first one is a program or a grant that we'll call Continue to Employ. This is where mission businesses can receive up to $5,000 to keep employees on their payroll. And so the requirement for the businesses is very simple, Mayor. They need to present a 941 form for the second quarter of 2020. and sign a verification affidavit. And there's only one application per business. The 941 is an official government form that indicates the name of the business, the EIN number, and also the number of employees. So if a business has 11 employees, they get credit for 10. If a business has 6 employees, they get credit for all 6. So up to $5,000 at $500 per employee, up to 10. The second program is the City of Mission Commercial Utility Accounts Grant. So every single commercial account that is signed up with the City of Mission will have the opportunity for a $500 grant. All they need to do is provide a copy of the W-9 form and a verification affidavit, one application per business. The Mission Gains program is tailored very much like our neighboring community of Edinburgh. And so we'd like to say that Mission residents and the City of Mission employees can apply for a $250 gift card to be spent at participating businesses that were affected by COVID-19 pandemic. The requirements is going to be a proof of Mission residency, a driver's license, utility bill, which could be a water or electricity bill, and only one gift card per household or address. These 3 programs we would like for the council to approve today, and we're going to administer those that are the most time sensitive because we are on a deadline. Along with this, I'd like for the council to consider Councilman Ochoa's recommendation to work in the census as part of the recovery program. Staff and city manager recommend approval for these programs.
Mayor, I'd like to move for approval.
Go ahead, Ms. Ortega.
I love it. I think that I would like to move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. We have a second, and this I open it for discussion. I do have a couple of questions, so bear with me, Ms. Lerma. Can the same business apply for all 3?
Yes, the business can apply for all 3.
Yes, and that was my question. Okay, and thank you very much. And this is a great program. I see a lot of need out there in the community. So that's gonna help us tremendously and help our businesses to stay alive, as far as that is concerned. Any other question by any of the council members?
Mayor, I just have one little question. Ms. Aida, what is Daniel Sylvia's list of the 140 that have been approved separate from that? Or if they get that, they can't get this one?
There is no separation, Councilwoman. These are all added programs because we want to make sure and support the local businesses that have been affected. So businesses, I'm sorry, I'm at home. Businesses will have to apply, and we're keeping it very, very simple because they did have to provide extensive support or documentation to the program that the MEDC is running. But yes, all businesses can apply for all of these programs, or 1 or 2 or as many as they'd like.
Okay.
Who's going to be responsible for administering all of this? And I'm sure our PR department is going to help you all with informing our public.
That is correct. And I will be overseeing the ones that I've just presented. Myself and the city manager staff will put a team together and we'll expedite these.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lerma. Any other question by any of the council members? I would like to call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. I did not hear a nay on opposition, so 3.29 is approved 5-0, Ms. Lerma. And I'm calling for 4.0 unfinished business, but we have none. So I'll move over to 5.0 routine matters. and call for 5.1, our city manager.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Eric. And I just want to add to the program that Ms. Ida just presented. We want to make sure and utilize the funds, assuming that we are looking at a August 30th deadline, and so we do want to expedite these funds to the businesses so we can help them recover from the COVID pandemic. And so we want to administer this as efficient and as fast as possible so we can get these funds out to our local businesses. And then also just wanted to also remind everyone about the safety measures and so forth for the public to be vigilant of the pandemic that is still out there. We are, like it was mentioned earlier, we are losing a lot of individuals, residents that are due to COVID. And so we want to make sure everyone's protected and for everyone to abide by the safety guidelines and to try and stay home as much as possible and travel for only essential travels. And so we asked everyone to protect themselves and to continue stopping the spread. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. I'm calling for 5.2, the mayor's comment. I just want to thank publicly all of the city employees that we have that have been fighting COVID-19 since the onset in March, and especially those that are doing double shift to cover for other people that our employees are infected and that our city continues to functions on a daily basis and provide the services necessary, and especially all of those that are still working recovery of Hurricane Hannah. I know our brush pickup individuals have been working tirelessly, and yet the city of Mission has a lot more to go, as far as that is concerned. And I just want to thank all those staff members that are out there, where the aches and pains when you get home, that I want to thank you on behalf of the citizens. I've been getting a lot of positive phone calls from the recovery part of Hurricane Hannah. Obviously, I do get the negative calls, especially on the drainage part, but we have a drainage plan and we're working on that as far as that is concerned. The final note of the mayor is very simple to the citizens of Mission. Mission, mask up. And calling 5.3 city council member, and I'm going to start with Ms. Garza.
Mayor, I don't have any further comments. Thank you, though.
Okay, Mr. Plata.
No comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Ms. Ortega.
Yes, I have several comments.
Go ahead.
I was surprised to see and hear Rick Venecia this evening in our meeting. I just want to welcome him to our team. I hear he's interim Boys and Girls Club director, so good luck. He's class of 92, so we have good people in our class. I want to reiterate what Mayor said. As I drive to HEB or Walmart, I always see the hard work of our sanitation department. Brush pickup, I always am fond and interested in watching the truck, because I just can't believe how much brush and debris they pile up in our trucks. And all along, they're trying to keep safe and being our role models in our community by keeping their mask on. So I just want to say that their hard work does not go unnoticed, and I want to thank them and all of our city staff that are working through this COVID times, which makes it a very interesting time for us to all work in. Lastly, I would like this to be directed to Mr. Elizalde. I know he's working really hard. He's one of our newest employees with our grant division. With everything that has been out in our news here lately concerning domestic violence and mental health, I would really, really appreciate for him to continue looking for grants to help alleviate the prevention and the awareness to our community members. Sometimes through all of this, I know that every month stands for something, but I think that now with a lot of people being at home and, so I really will extend this challenge to Mr. Elizalde, and I know that he will come through even with this new technology that we're going to purchase for those type of grants so that we can help monthly spread the awareness to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ortega. Mr. Beto Vela?
I just wanted to thank the sanitation department as well. I saw it firsthand this weekend, driving around, and I did see them always, there. So I just want to thank them, and that was it.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Vela. According to the agenda, we don't have nothing in executive session. Am I correct, Mr. Martinez?
That's correct, Mayor.
Thank you. So
That's
I'll entertain an adjournment 6.0.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.